In the wake of Cleopatra's tragic demise, the fate of her children remained a mystery, shrouded in the power struggles of the Roman Empire. But buried deep within historical accounts lies a hidden secret, a forgotten daughter named Theresa, whose existence could rewrite the very fabric of history and challenge the narratives of emperors and conquerors. The political landscape and Cleopatra's children. Antony and Cleopatra's fate. In 30 BC, after the Battle of Actium, Antony and Cleopatra died, leaving Octavian Augustus as the ruler of the Roman Empire. Augustus controlled a vast territory spanning from northern France to Upper Egypt, and from western Spain to the borders of Parthia. He eliminated his potential rival, Caesarion, the son of Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, by having him killed. Augustus's journey and political situations later that year, Augustus traveled from Egypt to Syria to address issues in the eastern part of the empire. During his journey, he gave Cleopatra's personal bodyguard of Galatians the King Herod the Great, who remained a client king of Rome. Augustus stayed in Syria for a while due to the unstable situation on its border. Armenia's king Artaxerxes attacked Media's king Artavasdes, and Parthia's Phraates IV was overthrown by Tiridates. Phraates IV managed to regain his throne with the help of the Scythians, while Tiridates sought refuge with the Romans. It is speculated that Augustus might have played a role in instigating the uprising in Parthia by supporting Tiridates, as it would have served his interest to control Parthia indirectly. However, Phraates IV returned to power with Scythian assistance. Augustus's return to Rome and treatment of Cleopatra's children. After his stay in Syria, Augustus likely visited Greece before returning to Rome in August 29 BC, where he celebrated his triumphs. During this time, he paraded Cleopatra's children, Mark Antony, Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene, and Ptolemy Philadelphus, through the streets of Rome. The young children aged 10 and 4 were adorned with heavy gold chains. Despite the humiliation, Augustus treated them kindly, and they were raised alongside his wife Livia and his sister Octavia in a household that housed various imperial orphans. Uncertainty surrounding Cleopatra's sons and Cleopatra Selene's marriage. While the fate of Cleopatra's sons is unknown, it is unlikely that they were killed like Caesarion, since Augustus had spared their lives and raised them. However, historical accounts do not mention their survival into adulthood. The only child of Cleopatra whose fate is known is Cleopatra Selene, who married King Jubba II of Mauritania as a diplomatic bride. Jubba II, like Selene, had survived previous turmoil. When Octavian became emperor, he reinstated Jubba II as king of Mauritania in 25 BC and arranged his marriage to Cleopatra Selene. Cleopatra Selene's marriage to Jubba II brought prestige to his small North African kingdom. She was an attractive teenager, the daughter of a renowned monarch, and revered as a manifestation of the goddess Isis. Despite their union, Selene maintained independence. Coins featuring Selene's image were inscribed in Greek, while Jubba's coins had Latin inscriptions. They had a son named Ptolemy, reflecting Selene's belief in their royal bloodline. It is suspected they also had a daughter named Cleopatra. Complex dynamics in the Eastern Mediterranean. The marriage between Cleopatra Selene and Jubba II took place around 25 BC amid significant political changes in the Eastern Mediterranean. These changes involved the Parthian Empire, where Phraates IV, previously overthrown, unexpectedly regained the throne with Scythian assistance. Tiridates, a prince seeking power in Parthia, was also a factor. These complex dynamics presented challenges for Augustus, the ruler of Rome, in his diplomatic relationships in the region. Augustus's diplomacy and the role of Thermosa. Augustus initially showed support for Tiridates, claiming to the Parthian throne, causing tensions with King Phraates IV. To mend relations and avoid further involvement in Parthian politics, Augustus decided against returning Tiridates. Instead, he sought to extend a friendly gesture to the Parthians. Limited information on Thermosa and her role. Given the circumstances, a military campaign was not feasible for Augustus, so he turned to diplomacy. As a goodwill gesture, he sent various gifts to Phraates IV, including an individual named Thermosa, described as an Italian concubine. While limited information is available, Parthian coins featuring Thermosa's image and name confirm her existence and raise questions about her true identity and background. Josephus Flavius, a Jewish historian, mentioned Thermosa briefly as a gift from Augustus to Phraates IV. However, Josephus mistakenly attributed the gift to Julius Caesar. The characterization of Thermosa as a mere Italian concubine seems implausible considering the diplomatic context. It is likely she held a more significant status and a role in the diplomatic exchange between Rome and Parthia. Details about Thermosa's background and her impact on the Roman-Parthian relationship remain uncertain. Her selection as a diplomatic gift suggests a meaningful connection sought by Augustus, possibly through a marriage alliance or a symbol of cultural exchange. Parthian coins featuring Thermosa's image and name further emphasize her importance. Unfortunately, historical records offer limited information on Thermosa beyond her association with Phraates IV and her role as a diplomatic gift. Her impact on the Roman-Parthian relationship remains unclear, but her inclusion in the exchange aimed to foster goodwill and improve relations between Rome and Parthia. In summary, Cleopatra Selene's marriage to Jubba II brought prestige to his kingdom amidst political changes in the eastern Mediterranean. Augustus faced challenges in his diplomatic relations with Parthia, leading him to employ diplomacy and send various gifts, including Thermosa. Although information about Thermosa is limited, the discovery of Parthian coins featuring her image confirms her existence and underscores her significance in the Roman-Parthian diplomatic exchange. Her role was to establish goodwill and improve relations between Rome and Parthia. Deeper revelations. Cleopatra and Mark Antony's downfall after Julius Caesar's assassination. Cleopatra allied with Mark Antony to consolidate their control over the southern and eastern regions of the Roman Empire. They had 3 children, Cleopatra Selene, Alexander Helios, and Ptolemy. However, their ambitions were thwarted when Mark Antony suffered defeat against Augustus Octavian at the Battle of Actium. Cleopatra and Mark Antony sought refuge in Egypt, but eventually succumbed to Roman forces in 31 BC, leading to the loss of Egypt's independence. Cleopatra chose to end her life rather than be paraded as a captive in Rome. Augustus brought Cleopatra's children to Rome, where they were displayed in golden chains. Augustus' political moves. Augustus arranged the marriage of Cleopatra Selene to Jubba II, the king of Mauritania, to secure his position in North Africa. Meanwhile, he sought to establish an alliance with Parthia by offering a gift to Phraates IV, the Parthian king. Instead of Cleopatra Selene, Augustus presented Phraates IV with an Italian concubine named Thermosa, which caused controversy. The identity of Thermosa and her descendants. There are indications that Thermosa held a more significant position than a concubine and may have been the forgotten daughter of Cleopatra VII and Julius Caesar. She may have been named Thea Musa Aurania and had children with Phraates IV, including Phraates V, Phraates, and Julia Aurania. The Julian family name suggests a connection between Thea Musa and Julius Caesar. Mary's potential connection to Thea Musa's family. Julia Aurania may have been married to Ptolemy of Mauritania, creating a strategic alliance between Mauritania and Parthia. This alliance would have connected Egyptian royal cousins who descended from Cleopatra VII and were resettled in Parthia by Rome. Incest was not a foreign practice to royal bloodlines. The origin and associations of the name Mary. In relation to the biblical accounts of the New Testament, the Parthian royal family was involved, and it is suggested that Mary, the mother of Jesus, was related to the exiled family of Queen Thea Musa and King Phraates. The most likely candidate for Mary is Princess Julia Musa Aurania, Thea Musa's daughter. Thea Musa's daughter used the designation of the Julian family, which demonstrates that Mea Muse was probably the daughter of Julius Caesar. For why else would an Egyptian Parthian queen name her daughter after a Roman emperor? The name Mary was coined in Egypt and used in pharaonic titles, including by Roman emperors ruling Egypt, with the meaning loved by Isis, Isis Mary. This indicates that Mary was originally an Egyptian name derived from the title Mary, meaning loved by. The Egyptian language also connects Mary to the sea, as Mary can refer to the lady being a love goddess, linking her to well-known love goddesses like Isis, Astarte, Aphrodite, and Venus. Mary's role as a god's wife, following the tradition of Maka Tamar queens, further solidifies her association with Isis and Aphrodite as love goddesses. Plain and simple, Mary is not a name, but a title meaning love goddess. The tradition linking Mary to a Parthian queen named Thea Muse remained strong in the centuries following Jesus' death, as depicted by Renaissance artists. The imagery of Mary dressed in blue and white robes standing on the crescent moon with 12 stars around her head aligns with these traditions. As the truth unravels, it becomes evident that the biblical accounts have concealed a profound revelation. The real identity of Mary, the mother of Jesus, was not what it seemed. Behind the name lies a forgotten lineage of Egypto-Parthian royalty, connecting her to the ancient love goddesses and challenging the set narratives around Jesus and his background. The truth buried beneath the sands of time unveils a hidden legacy that would forever alter our perception of the divine. We would love to hear what you think. Leave a comment below. Until next time.